everybody. I hope that you are doing fabulous today. Welcome to Altenew Live. I am Mimi Hill, and I'm so excited to be with you today. And I'm feeling a little bit autumn. I have to say that, summer is kind of ending, and I am kind of feeling that little bit of a chill. It's still nice, in the afternoons, but it's getting a little bit colder in the daytime. And where I am, I'm in a deciduous forested area, so the leaves are kind of starting to change and things are happening. So I have to say that I'm feeling a little autumn. So I'm embracing that change and embracing autumn. And I wanted to talk today about maybe casing some projects that you have that are very springy. That's what I'm going to bring in. And how can we transition those over to autumn just by changing some colorways there? So I just wanted to say I'm so excited for you guys to be here today. We're always live on Monday and Thursday afternoons, Eastern Standard Time at 3:30. And if you share this live while we're live, you'll be entered to win a gift card to Altenew. And I'm so excited. We have Nancy here. And we have Altenew behind the badge. And I see Sue and Teresa from Texas. And we also have Laura Lee. Hi, how are you guys doing today? And I see Cece from Sweden and Carmen from New York and Liz. And right, Liz, love autumn. And I have to say a lot of times, a lot of times, for autumn, there's it's kind of kitschy. There's pumpkins and all that kinds of things, but you can actually take your stamps and really stretch those out. And just by changing some colorways that you can actually create that autumn feel card. So I see Tracy is here and Liz, I said, and Audrey. Hi, Audrey. It's so nice to see you. And we have Carmen, as I said before. Let me know where you're coming in from the chat. And Lori, Massachusetts. Woohoo. Go, Lori. It is starting to get cold around here, Lori. And Sue, favorite seasons are fall and spring. So we're heading right into that, Sue. And I know that you're over near where I am too. So those leaves are starting to change. Lori as well. Those leaves are starting to change a little bit. And so it's so great. So we're going to talk about it today as we go along. So I thought what I would do is I would actually case my own card. So I'm going to share a card with you. And I'm going to kind of take it from this spring bright card. And then I'm going to case it, and I'm going to, hopefully, if everything works right, I'm going to try to create 3 cards out of it. We'll see how it goes, though. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and point my camera down to my mat. And so what we're using today is Climbing Leaves. Tracy, low 90s? You've got to be kidding me. Right, Lori? It's so nice still here where we live, Lori, but I have to say that it is starting, those mornings are getting pretty cold, I must say. Those mornings are definitely getting a little bit cold. And Liz, yep, in Nebraska, yep. And Christine from Kentucky, and Audrey, that's right, Altenew's hometown. 80 degrees up there, huh? And Judith, I'm not ready for this color to change, I got to tell you. And Lynn is still getting muggy and warm. And thank you so much, Tracy, for sharing this to Facebook. And you too can be like Tracy and be entered to win a gift card to Altenew. And just share this live while we're live. Let us know. And whoever is behind the badge could just let us know who's behind there and say hello. And tomorrow's going to be in the 60s. I think in rain, Lori. There's rain coming that way too. All right. And hi, Shiomara. I'm so excited you guys are here today. So this set is Climbing Leaves. And this is such a really cool set because it is this gigantic stamp. And it also has this die. And I would recommend getting both of these. All right, so make sure you get the die with this as well. You could just use the stamp, and it's kind of pretty all together, and it is just this really big stamp. But what the die can do is the die will cut out around those leaves and just really kind of give you like this really, really pretty color change, All right, Audrey, we're ready for color change. So this is a card that I made. Like I said, this is the card that I'm going to case. It's a very simple design. And it really just is the Climbing Leaves on the background. And what I did on this card is I used a teal colorway and just an ombre effect. And this is all embossed. So that's embossed with, I think, rose gold. And then this is a piece of rose gold metallic. So Miss Han for today. Hi, Han. So, so excited that you are here today, Han. So excited. And all right, we got Judith over there too. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad. I have so many friends. I'm so excited you guys are here today. So this is where I'm going to case. So I'm going to start off by stamping this, and this stamp is a little bit larger. So it's like this is probably like a 5.5 by 5.5-ish stamp. And there's some really cute little sentiments down here. And I think I'm going to, what I'm going to do is I think I might keep these off today, or I might put them on, but we'll see how we go. All right, so I'm going to grab this stamp. And this is a large stamp, so I would recommend using a stamp. I'm going to use my stamp wheel, but using some sort of stamp positioning tool to put this in, because it's going to take a little bit to get you to really make sure that it gets some good contact on there. All right, so I would love to know, what is your what are your fall colorways? Like all of a sudden when you start making fall cards and you're kind of putting away those pinks, what do you grab? What do you grab next? And we are talking autumn and autumn cards, and I don't have that many like autumny, fall-y stamps. So I use, you know, I like to kind of stretch what I have already. So we're going to do that a little bit with color. All right, those are some goodies we're going to use a little bit later that are coming up. So all I did is I took a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and I just cut it in half at 5.5. So this is along that 11.5-inch side, and I just cut that in half because this is a large stamp, and I'm going to cut this up into pieces and put it on a couple of different cards. So that's coming our way. All right, so I'd love to know what's your colorway? Do you have a fall colorway? When it's fall, I reach for, and what color does that happen to be that you reach for? And by the way, I want to point out that I obviously need the new stamp wheel because my piece is too big to fit in here. So that is on my wish list, and I haven't quite got it yet, but it will be coming my way. So I'm very excited for that. All right, I'm just going to cut a little bit off just because I want to make sure that this fits into my stamp wheel. So we have that. Ooh, Christine, I love all those colors. And Wendy, golds, oranges, burnt umber. Love those. Tracy, Han is behind the badge today. So I'm so excited she's here. Han, we got the dream team coming back, man. Dream team. Dream team is here. All right, so this is going to fit nice on here. I'm just going to put that right up on top, and then my stamp wheel lid is just going to pick that right up. So I have nice contact. Now, I am actually going to emboss this. I don't have to. I could actually use some color, but if you guys know me, I love heat embossing. It's one of my favorite things to do. And so I'm going to give you guys a couple of colors that I think would be great for fall. So we have this peach color, and I know it looks really bright, but this with some oranges and some dark pinks would look really, really pretty. And then we have obviously everybody's go-to antique gold. Yes, I know I spelled that wrong. And then rose gold. It's such a beautiful color, but again, it's this nice rich color, but I'm going to go with copper today. I'm going to keep it kind of a little bit darker, and I want to go with some copper. So I'm actually going to emboss with copper embossing powder. I don't bring this out that often, and you can see I'm still on my first bottle, and there's still quite a bit in there, but we got that. Oh, I love all of these ideas that you guys have for this. For all of these beautiful colors. I'm seeing purples, oranges, dark greens, Nancy. Those are gorgeous. And copper. Yep, Jennifer, we're in the right mind right now. Copper with me too. Golds and browns, dark greens. And Judith, swamp maples, showing their colors. And purple reds. And Sue. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here then, Sue. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that she's getting better. That's excellent. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and prep my paper. So I'm going to grab my little embossing bag. And again, I just took a piece of 8.5 by 11 and just just cut it down so it would fit inside of my stamp wheel. And I'm going to do 2 of these today because I think I'm going to be able to make these cards. Now, I'm just going to grab, so I just prep my paper, and I'm going to grab my embossing ink, which is right over on the side. Oh, copper and rose gold. Vanessa, love. Oh my gosh. And the metallic paper. Han, can we put the copper metallic? I'm going to be using it later, but the copper metallic paper, if you're really going for an autumn look, oh, it's gorgeous. I'll bring it out. Oh, it's over there. You guys will see it in a moment. This is the rose gold metallic paper, also beautiful, but the copper is just this really deep, beautiful orangey goodness. It's very, very good. All right, so I'm just really, this is a big stamp, so I am really, really going to town with my embossing ink on this. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. Purple reds, Lori, yes. Hi, Linda from Dudley, UK. I hope that you are doing well. We are talking autumn. And so I would love to know, in the UK, have the leaves been changing? Is it getting a little bit colder? I bet for Cece out in Sweden, it definitely is getting a lot colder. I don't know if you've had your first snow yet. We have not. In fact, we haven't had rain, Lori, right? Jeez. Oh, that's great. Thank you so much, Han. That, if you guys see when those are on sale, I just stock up on those metallic papers. They are just gorgeous. I use them for everything. Oh, backgrounds, borders, sentiment strips, backing a sentiment strip, belly bands, little accents. I'll cut leaves out of them. They're just really, really versatile and so easy to use. Okay, here we go. All right, stamp number 2. Got to be a little extra. Oh, yes, that's right, Tracy. Those beautiful glitter. I didn't pull those out because I'm keeping like a subdued autumn, but the beautiful dark reds for those glitter papers would be really, really amazing. Okay, so I've got copper. Tracy, you love copper too, right? This is a favorite. I saw you put that in there. You have a favorite for copper. All right, I'm hoping to heck I did a good job. Otherwise, this is going to be really, really short shrift, but we'll fix it. We'll fix it later if I need to. All right, so I'm just going to add copper onto this. I have a feeling I didn't get the middle, but that's okay. Yep. All right, I got a big, huge space in there. It's all right. We'll fix it later. Yep. This is a really big stamp, and when I normally do this on my own, I stand up and I give this every single ounce of my weight to a stamp like this, just to make sure it's really down. But I just want to pause for a second and just like focus on the beauty. Like, it's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And Audrey, it is going well. We just started, and for those of you who don't know, I'm a school teacher. And I teach science, and we just started. The kids are finally getting into it, into the swing, and it's been going okay. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. All right, just going to blow off some excess. We're going to pretend the middle part of this doesn't exist, and I will restamp this and kind of figure out how to fix that in just a moment. But again, nice big stamp like this. Takes a little bit of time, and I'm just going to go ahead and go through. And you can just see how rich and gorgeous this copper is. It's a color that I should be grabbing for, and I just don't grab for it enough because I think I just go, to gold. I do a lot of gold, rose gold, and I just thought it would be just perfect today. And I agree with you, Tracy, that the navy in copper is just beautiful. So. And Linda, this is really big. This is a big stamp. This is a very big stamp. But what's nice about a big stamp like this is you can cut it and turn it into other things. And so I'll show you guys. In fact, that's my part over here, is just using it as is. And then we can just cut it up and use pieces of it. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of things that we can do with it as we move along. So you can see this is taking a while. Talk amongst yourselves. As we're going along. Oh my gosh. And I'm curious to see, this one I think came out a little bit ago, but I'm curious if anybody has climbing leaves, if this is a favorite stamp of yours. I love it. And I really like using it for, I will use different colors, like create an ombre effect. I should have grabbed some examples. I didn't grab those. I'm going to fix that middle section in just a moment. Okay. When I fix this, you guys are going to have to make sure that we all at the same time press on that stamp wheel. All right. I'm just checking to make sure I melted everything. Oh, yeah, that looks good. Okay. All All right, of course I put this right in the middle. Now I got to figure out where it's going. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Audrey. It's not perfect, but we will just slice off those pieces. In fact, I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to grab my second one because, of course, you always have to have a backup. And this time I will actually move it over so it's in the corner. Oops, it's in the corner. Oh, well, Jenny, I mean, I thank you for that about the UK. And of course, our weather comes first. So we have been getting some beautiful weather, at least here. But it's interesting you're getting rain and colder next week. I think that's because we're going to be getting rain and colder next week. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I'm going to put this over here on this side. I want to point out, it's going to become really super important in just a moment. If you notice that one of these corners is rounded and the rest of them are not, that corner is going to become important when we use the die. So I'm going to take that rounded corner and I'm going to point it at the bottom here. So that's going to be in my bottom right. Okay. All right. Attempt number 2. I was going to do 2 anyway. So this is just, we're just doing it now instead of later. So, oh yeah, they're going to be great, Audrey. I think it's going to be a good year. I got a great bunch of kids. We started the science team. Got a lot of great kids coming out for the science team. And we're doing some science fair projects this year as well. Got a couple of kids interested in science fair. So super fun. All right, so now I'm going to do this again. I'm going to stand up this time. So I apologize if my sound of my voice changes, but I'm going to stand up. So again, tips for big stamps. You guys throw those tips for handling big stamps in the chat. How do you make sure that you're getting a perfect impression with a big stamp? And I'm with Audrey. When this happens and I'm like, you know, I get sections, I just cut it down. I don't let that go. I still cut it down and use it. Yeah, you can use part of it. All right. Okay, again, nice embossing ink. Okay, here we go. All right, full weight. Is everybody ready? We're going to press down on this stamp together. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, you guys are all pressing with me, right? Making sure we get full contact. It's going to be a little tough on this edge, but that's okay. We'll get there. Hey, between the two of them, I've got it. What's nice is by inking this up, sometimes you don't really see that outside of it. Oh, look at that. Stick it on its back, face up. Rub an ink pad over the paper and lift. That's good. And Audrey, I'm with you. This is one of those ones that I might have extra pieces lying around because when I stamped it the first time, it didn't come out perfect. Always make sure you use the corner too. Now I can't line that other one up. All right, here we go. Number 2. Right, Judith? Groaning helps. You got it. It's like when you know, you hear Serena Williams play tennis and she's like, when she hits the ball. That's why she's so good. She lets all that energy out. And Sue, I love that. Don't have the stamp wheel. I ink up my stamp on my table and place the card on top. All right, and that works, Sue. And you never although you probably have a good impression of that. But you got to stand up, Sue, right? You have to stand up over there if you're doing that. All right, Han, what do we think? Think I got it? That's the only trouble with when you're doing embossing or you're inking up with something like embossing ink is you can't see it until it's too late. So, oh, I'm so excited that you're here, Yuling. 3:50 in the morning. Whoa. Yeah, I definitely have to stand. Got to tell you. Here we go. I think I'm feeling better about this one. I think I got something in that corner. I'm going to do one more little pass here. Just in case. Only because I'm gun shy from last time. All right, here we go. All right, last time, guys. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to use the copper again. So you get another chance to see this copper in action. I'd love to know if you have copper. Is that an embossing powder that you reach for? If you have that one. All right. And of course, if it ends up and you're in a situation where you stamp it and it just like doesn't come out right, you can just restamp it. Like I can just restamp over this. It's not a problem. My issue is I put it in the middle and not in the corner. So I'd have to do some magic in order to line it up right. Which I don't have time because I want to show you guys how to make a card. So if you're just joining us, please make sure that you share this live while we're live. You'll be entered to win a gift card to Altenew, and we have Han behind the badge. And today we're talking about autumn. And so I'm using this set called Climbing Leaves. And Climbing Leaves is this gorgeous large stamp that I am now taking a moment to emboss. Look at that. I did so well, Han. What do you think? And we are taking this card that I have over here on the left. Let me show it to you guys. And I'm casing this and turning that into an autumn card just by kind of changing some colorways. And so now I had you guys put in the colors that you loved, and I heard a lot of reds and purples and dark greens and oranges. And that's what I'm going to pull as well. So I'll share the sets that I like as well. Yes, I did it. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Yuling. We got it. So it just took a little bit more elbow grease than I had the first time. All right. So now talk amongst yourselves. It's going to take a little while for me to do this. Judith, this is so good. Oh, Lori, isn't it beautiful with navy? You have this set, right? Oh, it's great with navy. I love copper and navy. And that's a nice like fall kind of thing that you can use as well. Those darker colors, those rich, rich, rich colors always look beautiful with this. So as I'm going along, I've had this turned a little bit to the light, and I'm trying not to like stay on a section too long because I don't want to warp my cardstock because this is so big. So I have it turned to the light so that way as soon as it's melted, I can move on to that next section. And I have a heat tool that puts out a lot of heat. In fact, believe it or not, I've actually burned a shirt with this. So with this heat tool, just by accident. I think I left it, I was doing something and left it on a little too long. I think it was heating it up, and I burned a hole in my shirt. So this sucker's hot. And this, therefore I want to make sure I'm moving it really, really quickly all around on my cardstock. So I'm just tilting this into all of this light that I have so I can see that it's gone. But you can just see this gorgeous copper. I love it too because I don't know if the camera picks it up, but I have some areas, and I don't know if it's just because of the stamp or the ink, or there's just a little bit of extra copper, or maybe it's just whatever the heck they use within the powder. But there's some areas that are a little bit darker and some areas that are a little bit lighter. And I absolutely love when there's some sort of variation to this. So let me just show you guys in the light. And I'm just turning this, but you can see how gorgeous that color is. It's this beautiful like orange red. I know, Tracy, don't even ask. I did heat up my shirt. It wasn't on purpose, I swear. All right, so I have this beautiful, beautiful piece. Okay, I'm just double checking, triple checking. I think it's all, oh yeah, we're good. All right, so that came out beautiful. So standing up, grunting, you guys helping me, that all got it. All right. So now I'm going to grab a sticky mat. So this is just an Altenew wheel, like stamp wheel mat. And I'm just going to put this on here. It's not going to hold it firm, but it's going to hold it enough that I don't have to tape it. And I like doing that with one like this because it's so big. So if I were to tape this down, I'm going to miss some colors some places. All right. So let's talk colors. So I pulled a couple of sets. And the one set that I really wanted to focus on was Fall Harvest. And I know that these are tiny little guys. These are the mini cubes, and this is the crisp dye ink. And I don't know if this has come out in fresh dye ink, because as soon as it does, I will. I will definitely do that. And hello, Maria from East Stroud, Pennsylvania. We are talking about fall cards today. So I'm casing my own design, and I am taking that. We're going to change this over and kind of move it up a little bit. The other one that I pulled, because you guys were talking about those like dark, deep, rich reds, is this is Martian Terrain. And Martian Terrain, especially these two colors, the mahogany bark and the burnt red, are just really, really beautiful fall colors. So you can see how nice these two start to look together, even just from the packaging together. And then I grabbed this green set. I forget the name. You're going to have to help me out, but this is one of the newer green sets. And this together, because you have this kind of like dark green opal, that's what really drew this to me. So when I start to put that green opal, that mahogany bark, and then the fall harvest together, you can kind of see how beautiful those look. Carmen, this is such a gorgeous, gorgeous one. And hello, Susan from Texas. I'm so glad you are here. Now I also pulled, because some of you guys were talking purples, and I agree. I kind of think about purples. And this is sugar plums. And this sugar plums has plum in it. And this plum is just beautiful. It did come out with the fall harvest. So these really do, these are two colorways that work well together. And even if we just put this, I'm just going to throw that green opal in there. Look at that colorway. So pretty. So you can really kind of see that on there as well, that's just a really, really nice colorway. All right. So I'm going to start off with fall harvest. And I'll kind of play around with the purple one in the other, just a moment. And I'm going to grab my larger blending brush. So Altenew has a few different sizes of blending brushes. And I'm going to grab the large one. And so I keep these. I love these. They're really, really fast and easy to use. And I'm going to start out. I only have like I only have 3 of them. So this one I'm going to, you can see it's kind of pink and brown and gosh knows what else. But I just want to show you guys, they clean off really well. So I'm just double checking. I haven't used this in a while. I'm just double checking I don't have any weird colors on there. So I just running a microfiber. This is just dry, a microfiber cloth on it. And then I'm just using one of the pieces of scrap paper just to check it. Yep, I'm good. See, I'm clean. It's good to go. So it's nice. I don't have to have them. I mean, if you want to, go right ahead. But you don't have to have them in every single color. All right, so I'm just going to do like a spot blend. I'm not going to go into any sort of detail. I'm just going to go how I feel today. This is all about feeling, all right? It's all about feeling today. So nice. Look how nice coverage this gets. And I'm just going to start blending in. So you can see this color with the copper. Oh, gorgeous. And this is Sicilian Amber. And so this is off of that Fall Harvest collection. And again, I'm just kind of spot blending. Just going in, doing little sections. And going along. Oh, and Miss Tamp is here. Oh, Yuling, the big blender is fabulous. It's nice because you can see already. I just covered this. That took me, I don't know, not very long, right? So it's such a quick and easy process with these. And I love the minis. So these are the mini blending brushes, and I have them in the wing, but it's going to take me a little longer. And I might use those to get some color in some other places. All right. I think I'm feeling like I want to grab that green opal and throw that in a little bit. So I'm going to grab my green guy. So I have a green one, and I'm going to do that. Jade Dreams. Oh, thank you, Audrey. Thank you. Put a little alcohol in a towel and brush the dirty brush into it to clean off the color. Sue, that's a great tip. A little bit of alcohol. And I agree, Susan, all of the brushes, I use them all for different things, but I do use them all. In fact, I haven't gotten rid of, but I'm planning on getting rid of my other brushes because I just don't need them anymore. All right, so I'm just going to grab a little bit of green opal. And Yuling, these will pick up quite a bit of ink. So I just kind of carefully brush this on just to get a little bit of color. And I'm just going to come in from the side and start to blend this green in. And Lori, I'm kind of feeling this, right? Because we're not at that point where it's absolutely, golden outside right now, but you can start to see that there's just a little bit of change. There's just a little bit of change going on that we have. All right, I'm going to put that in there. Now I'm going to grab, I left a little bit of space, and I think I'm going to come back in with the Sicilian Amber. but I just want to touch a little bit of mahogany bark. And I'm actually going to use my smaller brush. So this is the mini blending brush. And I'm going to go on this one because I want to put this in a little bit of places. And I don't want to, probably don't want to get that, I don't want that green to turn to brown right now because I'm still trying to keep these colors a little bit more distinct. And Liz, you are so right. Jewel tones would go super well on this. And for those of you who don't know, Jewel Tones is just an absolute set. It's in the crisp dye inks that has not moved over to fresh dye. A couple of them are, like Green Opal is from Jewel Tones. So they're re-releasing them in a little bit of a different manner within the within the fresh dye ink collection. All right, so just got a little bit of this. And I'm just going to start to just brush this red on. Again, I just want a little faint hint of color in a couple of different sections. So I want the kind of look or appearance of red. And I'm going to go into this amber, like where the heck did I put the Sicilian amber in, just to kind of add a little bit of red to it. Now, a lot of the middle sections, those are going to kind of go away. Because they're going to be cut out as we go along. All right, so I'm just adding a little bit of a touch of this. This is mahogany bark, just adding a little touch of it. Now I'm going to come back. And again, I'm feeling my way right now. I'm feeling my way on this one. Oh, that's a great idea, Maria, keeping up with the chat while you're watching this on TV. So I must be really big to you right now. That kind of freaks me out a little bit. All right, so let me go back to Sicilian Amber. So I'm going to clean off my mahogany bark or whatever the heck is on here. And Judith, hi Judith. Sue, I have to say, I'm finding they're both, so the fresh dye inks, which are these ones in the rounds, and the crisp dye inks, which are these that I have. Now I have them in the minis. They do come, but they come in like the pad looks like this. It's an oval. I'm noticing that these blend a little bit easier. Sorry, the fresh dye ink blend a little bit easier. And so I'm able to get some nice coverage on them. But yeah, they're still water-based inks. So just use what you have. That's what I say. Use what you have. But as kind of new colors come out, I like the size of the circles. And I like kind of how it is that they work. So I'm kind of slowly transitioning over. All right, I'm losing a little bit of green here, but I'm just using this Sicilian Amber to blend everything around. And I'm kind of liking where this is right now. So I'm just going to touch a little bit more green. If I can find where I put my brush. And so I'm going to add just a little bit more green opal just to bring that back. So I'm just kind of going over what I had already. And I'm just building up those color layers. That's all I'm doing. So I just had these, like you can see, I'm kind of doing it in little triads here, but I just wanted to make that over there. All right, I'm really liking where this is, so I'm going to stop where I am right now. Okay, now while I'm here and while I'm doing all of this, because I know it's 4 o'clock, I'm going to grab my first piece. So this is for those of you who are just joining me now. I am using the Stamp Climbing Leaves, and this is the coordinating die. I am casing my card. So this is a card that I made, I don't know, a while ago, but it's very bright and it's very springy. So I'm taking this same idea and I'm translating it into an autumn card. This was my first attempt because this is such a large stamp. This is such a big stamp. And so because I was sitting down, I really needed to stamp on it and I did not do a great job the first time. So I have some areas that are a little open. So I'm not going to throw this away. I'm actually going to hold on, or I'm going to use this right now. And I'm going to start back on that Sicilian Amber and throw that in here. And I'm just going to do a little bit because just in a couple of locations, because what I want to do is I want to start to use this purple that's over on the side. And obviously if I put purple in with the yellow, it's going to make brown. So we're just going to do a little bit of this. All right, I'm going to come back in, do a little bit more of this green opal. And just kind of, I'm going to kind of go around these edges where the yellow is, just to protect it a little bit from the purple. So kind of the same idea. So this one we used red, and then I'm just going to come in and I just want to show you a little bit of a different colorway. All right. So I don't have like a large purple one, so I'm going to use plum. This is off of Sugar Plums. So I'm just going to grab a tiny brush and put that color in that way. Yeah, Judith, it's a good question. And I have to say, in terms of like, oh, you know, I think it's use what you have. And it might be, you know, you get a colorway, like get one of the new colorways that come out that's in the fresh dye inks, and then you can decide. Like, you know what, I actually like these better, or I like how they handle better. And then if you're like, okay, I think I'm going to go in this way, then you can do that. But, you know, use what you have. You know, we have this, I think that's part of what we do is we kind of curate a collection. And so you love what you have, and so use it. Use what you got. It's better that you use it than it kind of sits around on your shelf not getting used, right? And that's what I think for me, the fun part of card making is being creative and thinking about different ways to use things. And so, like I said, even though this is kind of like, you can't notice it once that color is in. So totally useful here. So I just want to show these. I'm going to go over this again with the Sicilian Amber, just to get in those spots and really, really blend this through, give it a little bit more color. So I'm just taking what's on here, and then I'm going to come in with my green. And my green is going to blend and be that marriage, that happy marriage between the purple and the yellow. Kind of temper all of them down. So it's really up to you what colorway it is. All right. Oh my gosh, Xiomara, am I huge right now on your TV? All right, so we have two different colorways. So again, in 3, if you bring up my teal one originally. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to die cut these two, and we'll see what it has. So give me a second. I'm just going to clean up my area so I can get my die cutter on here. Now for this die, and I had mentioned it, and I'll bring the I will bring the stamp back in. So for this specific stamp on Climbing Leaves, it is it's a rectangle, but one of the edges of the rectangle has a corner to it, and that's what we have to do, because now we got to figure out how the heck this lays down on it. All right, so let me grab these, pull these over. All right, and here. And I'd love to know, are you starting to like transition in your card making? I know the weather is transitioning, but are you transitioning? And are you transitioning over to making fall cards? And I don't own like a lot of pumpkins and a lot of kitschy cards, like a lot of kitschy stamp sets. I do own a few, but I don't own a lot. And so what I like to do is to take the stuff that I do have. So I have a lot of flowers and leaves and things like that. And what I like to do is I like to see if I can reuse them. Okay, so just to show you guys a couple of things with this. Can you see that corner? I pointed that corner out, and that's how we line it up. Do you see that? So that's how I'm lining it up. Now, I put this on my stamp wheel, and I had that corner in the bottom right. And so now I'm going to like, okay, which way did this go? So I think when I had it in my stamp wheel, it was this way. I'm going to double check that it looks right and see if it lines up. And if it doesn't line up, then I just know I have to flip it. And what I'm looking for here is these are going to cut out. So I'm kind of like looking in between. And this looks like it lined. How did I get that the first try? That's not possible, folks. It's because you're all here with me. How is that possible? I actually got that on the first try. It's not going to happen on the next one. All right, so I have to now find my satin masking tape, which usually I have like little extra pieces around, but I don't think I have any extras. So I'm just going to use my satin masking tape. Oh my gosh, on what to purchase first. Maria, I would start, I think about your own card making, right? So what is it that you like to do? And Altenew has some, the Craft Your Life kits. They come out once a month. They have a subscription. you don't have to be in the subscription. You can buy the kits or look at past kits. And those are great because they come out with a stamp. It comes with the die. It comes with an embossing folder, and it comes with a stencil. And that way you can actually try out pretty much all of the Altenew products. So in terms of what their stamps are, you can try those out. So I'd look there. It's a price point. It's a little bit of an investment, but you're getting so much out of it that I think that one's worth it. That's probably what I would do first. And then I have to say, I am a colorist. Like, I really love to color. It's one of my favorite things to do. And so what I personally would also do is just, take a look at their color. So if it's inks that you love the most, there's also paints and markers. So they have a lot of those. So you can check them out and say, you know what, this is what I want to try next. I have to tell you guys that I'm doing my best here, but my tape came off because this is so like heavily, this poor paper has been through the ringer right now. Yeah, and I agree with what Audrey was saying, is like, I think everything that I've gotten from them has just been, it's just tremendous. It's really, really great. I was a fan first, still a fan. All right, I'm working this on. Oh my gosh, Yuling, I'd love to know. I have to say, I looked at Michelle's inspiration, and she has such springy colors, which I was like, oh, of course, because she's such a bright, nice person. And of course, here I am bringing in like autumn colors. All right, just to show you guys that when this pops out, it's really neat. And all of these little pieces, as I pop this out here, so all these little pieces are going to pop right out. So that's cool because now we can see right through that card. And so that's going to be great. So we're going to keep that over on the side. And then I'm going to quickly run this guy through. Let's hope to heck I did it the right way. Again, I have a little bit, it's going to be a little bit trickier. Oh my gosh, did it again. Awesome. Okay, line it up. Somehow that's working for me today. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to line this right through. And again, it's all about that magic corner. If you have that magic corner, then you can line this up and you're good to go. And this will run right through. Oh, thanks, Tracy. Oh my gosh, you're right, Audrey. And when I sit down, satin masking tape. How many of you guys have like walked out of your room and you've had your craft room and you've had satin masking tape somewhere on a piece of clothing, your pants, wherever you're sitting down? The other thing I have to say, Maria, is I really love, they have these mini delights, also a subscription, but mini delights are great because we call them mini but mighty, and they pack a huge punch because you can do so much with it. And I encourage you, if you're new to Altenew, to join us in the fan group. It's on Facebook if you happen to use Facebook. But we also have we have a podcast, which is really inspiring. Bridget does an amazing job with the podcast. And those come out once a month. And it's just wonderful to listen to people in the industry kind of talk about their journeys and what they find, that they love about crafting. And we have wonderful people like Han in customer service, which is fabulous. So thank you, Han, again, for being behind the badge today. And it's a great, wonderful company. Lots of amazing products. But yeah, just look around, see what people are using, and whatever strikes your fancy, try something and see how it goes. But the kits are great because everything comes right with you. Sorry I don't have one to show you right away, right now. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm just taking my pokey tool and I'm just going around. And again, if you're just joining us, we are talking autumn-themed cards. So how do we take something like this, I'm casing my own design, and how do we take that and turn it into an autumn-inspired card? All right, so this one obviously is not, I'm going to cut this up, and Audrey is absolutely bang on that one. I would, she's like, cut it up, Amy, and absolutely I will. So I'm going to cut that up. And then this is the one I'm going to keep. And so this is the one I'm going to put onto a piece of a card that I already have, which I'm going to magically bring out in just a moment. And you can see how easily these pop out. And I only ran that through. I didn't have to use a shim or anything, but these pop out really quickly. But what I like about this is it takes like a really, really big, huge stamp. And because you have these cutouts in it, it's really, really super nice. Oh my gosh, Linda. Oh, that's a great idea, Judith. Yeah. Never tried it. Yeah. Oh, Maria, they have an artistry by Altoon. There's a great mixed media on there. And then lots of great things. And Linda, first kit. Oh my gosh, have super fun. And of course, we love it when you guys share your designs. Just hashtag us, hashtag Altenew, because we want to see what you do. Right, Han? That's like the favorite thing, I think, is when we're able to see what other people do with the products. All right, so we got this going on here. All right, and there we go. All right, so I just kind of cleared that all out. Okay, now I got a mess. That is going to go away. And now we got this. Okay, so I'm going to bring out a card front or a card base. And you can just see now when we have this white popping through, it's kind of nice because it really brings those colors over there, you know? And so that is great. And I have to agree, Liz, it's the die. The die absolutely just brings this to the next level. I don't always buy the die when I buy a stamp set because I'm like, sometimes I can cut it out or I really only want the stamp. But this one, I was like, I must have this. And so I'm just going to kind of bebop this around. Ooh, I'm going to do it this way. So you can see I can put this over here, and I flipped it 4 times. I don't know if you noticed that. And I was like, where do I want this to be? And I'm actually going to cut this. So I have this nice corner up here. And I'm going to cut this for maximum. I'm going to do it this way. Yeah, there we go. I want to cut this for maximum coverage. And then I'm going to grab a strip. So Han had already put the, sorry about that. Han had already put the link in for this, but this is the copper metallic paper. Oh, it's so gorgeous. And absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to cut a little band that's going to go right across here. And you can see I am very stingy with this. I don't, you can see I keep it in like a little Ziploc, a little bag. Because I'm going to use every piece of this that I have. I'm just going to use it all. And I don't want to waste one little bit. I'm going to do it this way here, beams. Okay. I flipped this over because this way I have okay, I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go right about there. Okay. I'm doing a lot of feeling today, by the way, guys, if you haven't noticed. All right. I'm just going to square this up. And so this is going to be at 4 1/4. So let me just square that up. Okay, there we go. That should work. Yep, good. Okay. So this copper is just really, really pretty. So I'm just going to grab some glue. And I'm just going to put this on, and then I'll just cut it off once it's on. That's what I want right there. So just add a little bit of glue. And I'm only doing that because just in case if like my card front isn't exactly perfect, I can always kind of, sometimes my measurements, I don't know. As much as I'm a science person, I don't always trust all my measurements. And again, nice little card. I'm going to keep the sentiment off for today, just because that way, oops, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. That way I can keep this, I think fall cards, sometimes you might send a thank you. It's always kind of a time that I feel a little bit thankful for things. Maybe you want to send a thank you to somebody. Maybe you just want to say hello. So sometimes I just keep those sentiments off until I actually know what I want to use this for. All right, I'm going to grab my big, huge scissors. Oh, hi, Kathy. I'm so glad that you're joining us. By the way, I know we have about 10 minutes left, and I hope that you've shared this live while we're live. You'll be entered to win a gift card. We have Han behind the badge. So I'm so excited that she's here today because we have the Dream Team back. And I am playing with a set from Altenew called Climbing Leaves. And this is such a pretty set. And we're talking about, like, how do you take something from very bright. So you can see it's the same design. I didn't do a different design. I'm going to in just a moment. But it's the same design, but you have that different feeling with it. And that is that's really what we're talking about, is how do we get that? So this is with that color. So this one had the fall harvest. So I used Sicilian amber, and I also used the green opal color, and I used a little bit of mahogany bark. See what I mean about measurements? Just a little bit over. Sometimes you just gotta cut it off. So that's so pretty. And I love the fact that you have that white peeking through. And so that just really, to me, sets off the color. So it's just so pretty. So you have all of that on there. All right, so we got that. Great. So now I have some pieces. So I have this left over, and I have this little guy left over. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring in another element. And so, Maria, this is also going to be, if I have to say, like, the thing that I want to do is embossing folders. Altenew makes some amazing embossing folders, and the organic linen embossing folder is just, it's just to die for. It's so gorgeous. So I'm just going to grab, a piece of cardstock that I have. I'm going to spritz this a little bit with my Mr. Mister just to get those fibers to move. And I'm just going to put this right in. Now, I'm not going to use this whole thing. I'm going to kind of create this, but I'm just going to run this through my little machine again. If I can find my things. You know, I said it wasn't going to happen today, but unfortunately they struck again, guys. Oh, okay, that's awesome. Oh, here they are. I found them. I found them. You all know what I'm looking for because you've all done this. You've all lost track of your plates. I know you all have. All right, I'm just going to throw this on. I can't find my other plate. This should work though. All right. Oh, that's not going to work. Too thick. All right, second plate. I lost my original plate. It's somewhere on my desk. I don't know. It's somewhere. Oh, and I'm with you, Shiamara. I think I love everything. They recently came out with a line of like tools, and I got to say I love the scissors and a lot of the things there. All right, so this is organic linen. It is, it's absolutely gorgeous. When I open this up, you can just see this texture that is on the card. And I just thought that was really nice. And I thought it would go really nice with this. So I thought that those two would be pretty together. And I really like them. So I'm going to cut this up into pieces. And what I want to do here is I'm just going to add just a little bit of a base to the bottom. And I'm going to just put a strip of the copper paper on it. And that's just going to be it. And then I'm going to do one more with this as well. So I'm just going to take my cutter. Oh my gosh, aren't they great, Sue? Oh, Sue, are you left-handed? I didn't realize that that you were. And I didn't realize that those scissors were good for right or left-handed. But I know left-handed people, they get kind of popped out a lot sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to cut this way because I kind of like this color. And so this is about 6 inches. So I think I want to do, an 1.5 inches. Do I want to do 1.5 inches? I think I'm going to do 1 3/4 inches. All right, so I'm going to cut this at 1 3/4 inches. Oh, wow. All the time. I love that, Lori. I spend more time hunting for stuff. No, Lori, you're curating your collection. That's what you're doing, Lori. You're curating your collection. Now, I cut this nice and flat, but can you see how this other edge is like, you know, rounded? I want to keep that. And so I'm going to put this down this way, and then I'll put a piece on the top of it. And I just thought this was really nice because it gives it a little bit of a color, but you still have all of this gorgeous white space up at the top. So I thought that was really nice with this. All right, so I'm just going to, again, just use a little bit of glue, or a lot of it, because why not? It's glue. And I'll just put this right down. So I'm going to put this a little bit above the bottom just so we can see just that gorgeous texture. And I was like, you know what? I wanted a card with a lot of texture because I feel like sometimes when I think of a fall card, that's what I think of, is like all the texture from the leaves and the falling leaves. And so when I'm like especially around Halloween as a kid, and you're kind of walking around and you just got all these leaves just crunching as you walk. That's what I was kind of thinking of. That was my inspiration for that one. All right, so I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to go right about here. Again, feeling my way. No idea how tall that is. And I'm going to just go ahead and cut this to 4 1/4. Okay, there we go. All right, so now as I put this on, I think I want that to be thinner. Just gonna cut that sucker right in half. And that's just gonna give me a little bit, I just want a little peek of it. I don't want too much. Like I said, keeping it all. I'm gonna keep this tiny piece too. Wow, you had to use your right hand, Sue. I know, it was awful. Well, Sue, I got to tell you, I have a friend who was left-handed, and he showed me that when the left-handed person holds like a pencil, it says it's like upside down for them, so they can't read the writing. I thought that was interesting. I hadn't thought about that. All right, so that's there, and Han, we're good for one more card, right? So I just made 2. So again, just made 2, but you can see how you have that little touch of texture. And I thought like some sprigs of some die cut leaves would be really, really pretty here that you could add in. All right, I'm going to do one more. And I'm going to grab a piece of white cardstock again. I'm going to run this really quickly through my embossing folder. And with that organic linen, because I got to tell you, this is just beautiful. I even think you could take this. I was going to add like a little bit of color to it, but now I'm like, I just love it with the white because I think that contrast is really nice with it. All right, this time I'm going to go on a diagonal. So I'm like all over the diagonal today, but I'm going to go on a diagonal. And that way, again, I'm kind of really stretching the card piece that I have. And I'm going to do the diagonal with the leaves on the top, and I'm going to use the copper banding as a separation. All right, so again, gorgeous, gorgeous linen embossing folder. All right, so for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my piece. So you can see I'm kind of messing around with it. And I do want this side to be like on it. So I can even cut this down a little bit, and that's probably what I'm going to end up doing because I don't have enough to go directly over because, again, I'm just kind of piecemealing this. So I'm just going to start up in this corner. And I'm going to, just kind of cut right around it. And this way I kind of know where I'm going to be and where I'm heading to. All right. What do you think, Audrey? We did pretty good here, right? All right, got a couple pieces. Yes, it is, Maria. There's it's the same stamp wheel, if you will. But what's different is there's an edge that you can remove. So that way I don't know if you were here for the first part, but this is such a large stamp. And what I had to do is I had to cut my piece of paper down. If I had that new stamp wheel, I wouldn't have to do that because then I could just move the edge of the stamp wheel, and then I can fit in whatever paper I need to. And that's kind of the cool thing. And that's when Tasneem was designing it. That was what she was thinking is, what do I do if I have like a very, very large project or a large piece of paper, or, I'm stamping in my scrapbook and I just want to stamp on one location in my scrapbook. You can put that in there, still stamp, and then you don't have to cut your piece of paper down. So it's really, really great. Oh my gosh, Lori, I hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you so much for stopping in. Appreciate it. All right, so we got this little nice piece, and thank you so much, Nancy. Appreciate it. I know you don't get that lot of fall color over there where you are, but we got a lot for you. Trust me. Trust me. Okay, so I'm gonna just cut another strip, and I think this should be okay. I'm gonna cut it a little bit thicker. And this time I'm going to put it on, and then we'll see how it ends up. So, oh yeah, that is not okay. All right, keep that piece. So this time I have to do it on a longer side and not on the shorter side. And again, it's just a little bit of this edge, but it really does make all the difference. Okay, so I'm going to put this on there. And then again, you can add whatever flowers or anything at all, but this makes a really, really good base of a card for that. Okay, all right, I'm going to cut along these. There we go, and there we go. All right, so let's kind of pause of what we did, and I would even cut this edge and just make this a little bit smaller and then put that onto a card base. I just don't have that prepared for you guys today. Sorry about that. All right, Han, how do we do? Oh, I'm 2 minutes over. Well, that's all right. Han, you did an amazing job behind the badge today. Thank you so much. All right, just to recap what we did, we had the Climbing Leaves stamp and die. And this is, I definitely would get the die. And we are turning it into an autumn card. And so this was what I cased. And this is a very springy colorway. And so just by adding a little bit of golds and some reds or in purples and some yellows and adding this piece of this strip of copper metallic cardstock, we have that so nice. So, oh my gosh. Yes, you, Maria, this is the time. You want to make sure you put that one on your list to come and get. So again, I just took the other ones and just put it up there, but it's great. So thank you all so much for being here today. And thank you huge to Han. And thank you all for helping me stamp that very, very large stamp, because we definitely got a nice impression that second time. Thank you so much for letting Altenew take a moment to craft your life. And please, please, please share any samples that you make, especially if you're inspired by today's live, with the hashtag Altenew. All right. Bye, everybody. I hope you have a great day.